Hey guys, how's it going? I had a couple close personal friends kind of start asking me. They've never gotten into stocks, never bought anything before, and they're asking about ETFs and things of that nature. So I'm going to go over a couple of big ones. Most people, you get into the stock market, and the first thing people tell you is, and by the way, my face recorder thing hasn't been working. I don't know why, but the first thing people usually tell you is, "Oh, buy the S&P 500 or buy the QQQ." It's an Invesco product. The S&P 500, I believe, was started by Vanguard in 1975. Anyway, no time for a history lesson here. Let's just get right into it. So SPX is just the ticker for the S&P 500. This is the 500 largest stocks that are chosen. Oh boy, let me get some of these indicators off. These are the 500 largest stocks that are chosen. So basically, stocks get kicked out of here and they get promoted up into here. So it's kind of like the Premier League. You know, you got relegations and promotions. If you're a good team, you get kicked out. If you're a bad team, vice versa. If you're a good team, you get raised up into the S&P 500. If you're a bad stock or you're not performing well, you can get kicked out. So you'll see some of these stocks like Robinhood got promoted to the S&P 500. And so all these like financial managers, these wealth management companies, they all have to pick it up and put it into their funds. So anytime you get promoted up into the S&P 500, it's a big deal, and it usually gives you quite a bit of juice. NVIDIA, Google, Microsoft, Netflix, Apple, all your Mag 7s, they're going to be in there. Tesla. So that's for your major. And this is like the biggest index. The next one I'm going to tell you about is the Invesco QQQ. And this is 100. So let's remove all these drawings. It doesn't matter what they're doing right now. I'm just going to kind of show you. But you get the idea. Let's go actually out to the monthly. And so you can get an idea. These just go up because it is a rotating basket of stocks that are performing the best, the cream of the crop. These are consistently going to perform well. Literally, the guy who invented the SPY, he said the best thing you can do is buy this, and when the statements come in the mail, don't check the mail, don't look at them, and like 20 years later, open it for the first time and have a cardiologist standing by because you're going to be in for the shock of your life about how much money you've accumulated. Men tend to tinker and we don't let these things ride like we should. But honestly, if you just dump money into here and forget about it, it's probably one of the best things you can do. So there's the S&P 500. You see it just goes up. I mean, right? Can't go wrong with that. QQQ, that's 100. Now the Russell, the IWM is the Russell now, and that's for mid and small caps. And this is a BlackRock product. So remove those. This one's a little more under control. It's a little more linear, right? So now you've got all kinds of ETFs. So let's say you're interested in Bitcoin, right? So BlackRock's Bitcoin IBIT. Okay, there's an ETF. They hold Bitcoin, and you sort of get this. You indirectly get value from them holding the underlying asset. Maybe I could switch to the daily for that. It doesn't matter. If you like gold, the first example that comes to mind is I like this one personally. It's a VanEck. You can request spot delivery of gold with this ETF, which is pretty freaking cool. Here's another one. PHYS is physical gold by Sprott. I love Sprott. They have more good ETFs. That's how I invested in Palladium. Without getting too far ahead of ourselves here, let's do gold, silver, right? SLV, example of a silver ETF. Obviously, all these metals are performing really well right now. So if you want to invest in a certain asset, like let's say copper, platinum, palladium, silver, gold, wheat, right? So here's wheat, right? The actual commodity. Here's the chart for this, okay? And there is a WEAT is the WEAT fund. I'm not going to pretend to even Teucrium pronounce that, and if you look at these companies, Teucrium, Wisdom Tree, Goldman Sachs, right? They've got a gold one. You can go down the line, and let's say you type in this word TEUCRIUM, and they've got a wheat fund, corn fund, sugar fund, soybean, agriculture. Now 2X. This is where you get into the tricky stuff. The 2X daily wheat. If you think wheat's going to go up quickly and you want to get in and out of this thing for a couple days, anything you see that's 2X, 3X, these are leveraged. And what you have to know before you buy an ETF, Google it. Does this decay? Like, how bad is the decay? Like, if your teeth decay, if you don't brush them. That's a huge, huge thing you need to know, because there's some of these, like, and my friends, my personal friends, guys, I may have told you about some of these, Coney. So they use covered calls to basically give you this fat effing dividend. And this is like a Coinbase derivative ETF. And it's from YieldMax. And if you go to YieldMaxETFs.com or Google YieldMax ETFs, you'll see they all use this sort of covered call strategy. So if you think Coinbase is going up, you would want to buy this one. Obviously, Coinbase has been going down, so this has not been a good one to hold. Fiat, if you think this is the other YieldMax, so it's a Coinbase inverse. If you think Coinbase is going to go down, this will pay you a fat dividend on that. But if you hold it for months, like let's say you hold this thing for 6 months, the amount you make off the dividends and the amount you lose off of the decay of holding the ETF will offset each other. And there's literally no point to holding it. You might as well just hold Coinbase stock. So, guys, I think we've hit time. Yeah, 7 minutes. Like and subscribe if you got value from this video. I'll tell you more about ETFs. We'll look into some 1x, 2x, 3x, negative 1x, negative 2x, negative 3x. And I'll give you a quick example right here. The QQQ we mentioned earlier. There is a SQQQ is a 3x short, and TQQQ is a 3x long. So there's something for everybody, trust me. And there's more ETFs coming out every day. There's XRP ETFs, Ethereum ETFs, Solana ETFs, Solana staking ETFs, Ethereum staking ETFs, Bitcoin ETF, Bitcoin inverse ETF, you name it, they've got it. Guys, one last time, if you got value out of this video, if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. And if you got value, like and subscribe. We will be back probably tomorrow for yet another one. Have a good day. Goodbye.